What's up guys, welcome back to another video. The trade call from yesterday was absolutely spot on, even though the daily bias was pointing bullish, but we saw every other signal pointing towards the downside, and ultimately we gave more weight to the downside signal, and ultimately that got us the W. And so I think that puts us up to 127 out of the last 162 trades called. The one on Monday was straight up no trade, like there was just no confirmation signal. So anyways, let's continue to keep up the good work, and in today's video, we will try to replicate the success that we had from yesterday. So the weekly bias is still bearish, and so far you are kind of seeing the start of what I was talking about at the start of the week, where when your weekly bias is bearish, Monday, Tuesday kind of sets the high of the week before you ultimately head towards the downside, and that's exactly what you got yesterday. And so I think so far, with that bearish daily candle close, we are very squarely in the territory of looking for shorts. However, the moment you go down to the 1 hourly chart is when it starts getting slightly sketchy, right? Just slightly. Not a big deal though. Which is, here you have a very big bearish order block, which is going to be resistance until proven otherwise. But these last couple of hours has been really strong. Like, you don't usually see these really strong aggressive booms with the upside on a day where you would otherwise be bearish. But so we're going to stick to the plan, which is that between the hours of 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. today, we are still going to look for shorts within this block. Because within this block, not only do you have, a bullish order block, you have another bullish order block, you have a fair bit of gap right here. And like overall, this is just setting up to be a very key zone of resistance. Now, in the event that you just completely blow through this area without any sort of CISD question outside, then so be it. It's a good thing actually, because it means that Bitcoin's actually going to go higher. Once you overcome this resistance, there's not too much stopping it from going much higher than this point. But if this happens, if we get that pump, and if we get that break above resistance and flip it into support, this could be the start of a big pump, and we could be saying, oh yeah, the bottom is in. The only problem is that on the daily chart, at least with the Binance chart, you have relatively equal lows here at $98,000 as well as $98,800. If you don't know anything about smart money concepts or liquidity concepts, relatively equal lows tends to be a magnet for price to head towards, which means price tends to be attracted to that. Like, this is a concept that we've used time and time again throughout the last 200 days that I've been making these daily videos to just accurately predict moves that nobody would see coming. And I believe until those relatively equal lows are taken, it's probably a slightly lower chance that we are going to form a bottom and go up. So the play today remains the same. We are looking for shorts only if we get the confirmation signal, which is going to come in the form of a 5-minute change in state of delivery. So right now, what you'll see here is that there is 1 zone, 2 zones, and 3 zones marked out, although they're all realistically, they're all the same zone. You do not know which zone is going to be the top, and it's frankly not our job as traders to figure out which is going to be the top either. Our job is simply that once price gets into these levels and you start showing weakness, you start showing a change of structure, change of character, change of order flow, whatever it is, you start looking for those downside signals. I think you guys might be able to hear that storm that brewing in the background. It's one of the reasons why I'm speaking so fast to try to get this video out to you guys before that storm hits, because I just say it's not going to be very pretty for me sitting right on the edge of outside at the moment. But once you get that confirmation signal is when you start diving in. And as usual, I will be posting these updates on X. If I do take a live trade, you guys get to follow along for absolutely free by following me on X and just paying attention to my tweet. If there's a way to turn on notifications on X, that will probably help as well. But speaking about free, in about 2 weeks, I'm going to be hosting a free masterclass just breaking down this exact system that's gotten us an 80% win rate of the last 270 days that I've been making these daily videos. And as a bonus, anyone that signs up before the event, you guys are going to get an exclusive bonus. So if you are interested, just click the first link in the description box below. And yeah, it's for free, so sign up. But otherwise, not too much to talk about with Bitcoin here. If it gets invalidated, so be it. But all signals at the moment are pointing towards the downside. And in terms of intraday targets, you're just looking for 2R as usual. But otherwise, you may actually just hit the current daily low. That would be the kind of intraday target. Right now, we are very far away from that. But don't be surprised, a lot can happen within the next few hours as we head into the New York session. Now, real quick, we're also going to talk about Ethereum. Ethereum is still also playing out the weekly bias. Now, in terms of the daily chart, you are bearish as well, and so you are just looking for shorts. Now, in terms of Ethereum, in terms of relative weakness, I am definitely seeing more potential on Ethereum for a short, potentially. And in terms of the PDOAs that you're going to be looking at, well, you can see that Ethereum is currently still quite a ways away from this, block here. And compared to Bitcoin, which is already at block, it shows you that at the moment, the strength is in Bitcoin and Ethereum is looking slightly weaker. But still, this is going to be the block that we're going to be looking for. In the event that you jump into that, that is going to be when you look for at 5-minute CISD towards the downside and between the hours of 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now, I wouldn't necessarily lean towards Ethereum for the short because like Bitcoin looks a little bit more peer at the moment, but I wouldn't completely disregard it. In terms of Solana, we are also having a daily bearish bias, and this is much more bearish compared to Ethereum and Solana. Sorry, much more bearish compared to Ethereum and Bitcoin. And in fact, we have just gotten a very key changes to the delivery over here towards the downside. We have this block right here, which is going to be resistance. And let's see if we can identify any Curve gaps over here. And not really. This was some pretty efficient price delivery. So right now, oh, sorry, this one. So this is going to be potentially the only further gap that you're looking at. So in terms of shorts, potentially Solana is going to be the one that is most clear because starting from now, actually, the moment you get that 5-minute changes that delivery to the downside, it's already going to be a pretty valid trade. So 5-minute CSD, it's probably going to look something like this, bang, bang, bang. And so yeah, potentially I will lean towards Solana for sure today, but you guys at least know the setup for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. But anyways, guys, quick video as usual. I'll just see you guys later tonight on X. But hopefully this gives you a pretty clear picture on what to expect. Ciao, ciao.